Guys, welcome back to 5-9 Gaming. Got your talks and Gale here, and in today's video we will be going over on how to get the maximum amount of Saint Quartz in Fate Grand Order. And before we actually start today, Gale, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, man. Looking forward to talking about FGO again after a while, of course, since our last video. But we thought we'd come back. We promised a Saint Quartz style video and whether how to best handle your Saint Quartz, especially if you're a global player. So yeah, definitely looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too, and I did remember seeing some comments that people were pretty down for that, because again, it is very difficult getting Saint Quartz, especially if you're a new player. So we hope this guide helps you out. So in today's topics, we're going to be going over a couple different ways throughout the game that you could get them, and we are going to start off with the story, which I want to say is probably the easiest and fastest way to get quartz, but it's also pretty difficult. How do you feel about getting Saint Quartz in the story mode, Gale?
I think especially at the start, if you can get a good set of friends, a good set of friend lists set up, where you can literally just keep taking the same unit, like maybe a Heracles or a caster support or something along those lines. If you already started off with a good starting 4-star maybe, or if you got really lucky and off a ticket you managed to get a 5-star or something. If you can get a good friend list, can help you grind through story. I think the early parts of the story are pretty easy, but once you start approaching Camelot and Babylonia, which is like the 7th section and the 8th section of the first part of the story, it starts to get a bit tricky. But especially now, you kind of only need to majorly reach the 6th part for now. Obviously, as more story comes out, events are starting to get locked behind, the Lost Belts, which is the second part of the story. So you kind of have to mainly just push forward as much as you can. Camelot and Babylonia, as I said, are a bit of a... They're a bit of like a... It's more of a check. It checks whether you're capable of progressing through the story. Some of the fights are extremely difficult. Tristan, Gawain, so on and so forth. So yeah, for the first 6 parts, you'll breeze through it, get some quartz very easily, but it starts to get a bit tricky after the 7th part. However, once you do the story for the first time from 1 to 6, you can then go back and clear the free quests, which allow you to get an extra Saint Quartz per node you've done. So you can go back and get more Saint Quartz from older stories if you haven't already done so. So at least there's one good thing about the story, even if it kind of gates you off at chapter 7. There's still ways to get Saint Quartz at least one more time from earlier parts.
Yeah, 100%. Like you mentioned, those are great ways of getting them. Unfortunately, you can only do each one once, and then you could do the free quests, but it's not like an unlimited amount, so you still have to be very smart with your quartz. That is one huge thing, that you could rush, if you don't save up those story quartz, you could lose them pretty quickly, and you are not going to have them there forever. So I would definitely say pick your banners smartly. I think that's definitely a quick little topic I want to throw in here. It's that to make the maximum amount in your Saint Quartz, you have to be smart what banners you do. You can't be throwing it out at every banner. This is just advice to any new players, because I know it's always nice seeing that nice 5-star, but the thing is, like Gale mentioned, going through story is not going to give you enough to do 20 multis, right?
Yeah.
I don't even think so. So you want to be very smart what you could do. And now we're going to go into the next topic that I want to bring up, which was events, which is very similar to story. We do get, it's like every week and a half, every 2 weeks, we will get a new event, which now recently all the new events are, they're locked behind Lost Belt. So just to our new players, you guys definitely want to complete the story, but you definitely don't want to throw all your quartz away. Once you get those quartz, save them, keep saving them, and you do want to get through the story so you could do the new events. Like, for example, what is a new event that's coming out on global? I know we did have the Christmas campaign going on. What is the next one that we could
well, we do have the Christmas campaign going on, but we haven't had the Christmas event yet. So we are getting Christmas number 4. We usually title it in FGO. The terminology is basically like whatever the event is, it goes in numbers. So like the one we got the very first time in 2015 was Christmas 1, Christmas 2 is Christmas 2016, and so on and so forth, if you're especially a JP player. So for us on global, this is Christmas number 4 that's coming out, and it's obviously got Quetzalcoatl, as a free unit. I'm not sure if it is going to be locked behind uh, any lost belt particularly. I'll need to double check, but from what I know, I think it isn't. Let me just double check. But yeah, effectively, we are going to be getting a Christmas event relatively soon. You shouldn't have a problem, quite frankly speaking, doing it. And yeah, as Gotcha mentioned, it's a great way to get a little bit of St. Quartz. It doesn't give you a whole amount. Usually events are meant to get you materials and stuff like that. So yeah, and yeah, I just checked. You need to clear Lost Belt 1 to get, access Christmas 2018. So you can notice now, especially now that we have unlocked Lost Belt, the requirements are going to get a bit steeper. Usually, I think up till I think it was last year's Christmas event where you had to complete Babylonia, all of the events were usually, clear Fuyuki, which is like the first story you do once you get into the game. But now more and more events are locked behind Lost Belt purely because of the fact that a lot of the story that's coming out kind of spoils Lost Belt. So they're basically amping up the requirements for the event now.
Yeah, which by the way, these are good events for St. Quartz, summon tickets, resources. So again, you want to complete that story as fast as you can. Enjoy it, definitely enjoy it. But this is another resource. So events was definitely another topic we want to bring up. Moving on to our next topic,
before
which is actually
go ahead. Sorry. I sorry to cut you in, but before I move on, look, you can rush through story. I highly recommend it honestly instead. You should enjoy the story, but there are also alternate ways to enjoy the story. What I personally do, and I don't know if Gotcha does this as well, is that you can literally just rush through the story, and there are a ton of YouTube videos that literally just play the story, like no commentary, no nothing. It's literally just the story. So that's also a recommendation I have, that once you're done with the game, or once you're done or you're done rushing, I highly recommend go and watch the story either on YouTube, or you can look at other alternate sources to go through the story, because as mentioned, you kind of have to rush the story now, especially if you're a starting player. But again, FGO is a story-driven game, so you shouldn't necessarily skip the story and just ignore it. Honestly, you should enjoy it as much as you can.
Yeah, completely agree. So like Gail mentioned, you definitely could blast through it, and then you could definitely watch it on YouTube, or do it how, it's just really up to you. But yeah, sometimes that is the better option, because again, it does take a long time to read the story. So I completely agree with Gail, just go at your own pace, whatever you guys want to do for that. And then moving on to the next topic, it's going to be logins. So how the logins work, I believe you get about, I think it's 3 St. Quartz a week? No, about 4. I think from logins. I think it's 4.
Yes, it's 3. It's for SQ. On JP, on global as well, it's 4 SQ. Yes, both of them are 4 SQ.
Cool. Yeah, so it's, you get 4 St. Quartz a week, which doesn't seem like a lot, but it does add up over time. And the cool thing about Fate Grand Order is that if you log in 30 days, you will get a extra 30 St. Quartz.
It's every 50. It's every 50. I should specify. 50? Yeah, it's 50.
Has it? Did it ever change on JP?
No. It's always been. It was originally like, okay, so it goes from 10.
Because it was 20 at one point.
Yeah, right? It was 20 SQ at one point. But initially, what was the case, or what is the case when you start playing the game, is every 10 days up until day 50, you get 4 SQ. Then day 75, you get 10. Day 100, you get 30, and then every 50 days after that, it's 30 SQ. Originally, it was every 20. It was 20 SQ every 50 days. But then I think on the 3rd anniversary, they've upped it to 30 SQ every 50 days. So, I mean, hey, they're improving ways of you getting St. Quartz over time as well.
Yeah, exactly. So definitely, logins, you guys want to make sure that you log in every day. I have to keep remind myself to do that, because I honestly kind of do forget sometimes. So can't blame you guys if you forget, but it is a great way of getting St. Quartz. Definitely logins, during the celebrations are really good times for that, which you will cover celebrations soon. But yeah, logins, definitely just keep logging in. Simple. You'll get your good amount of St. Quartz. Moving on to our next topic, which is St. Quartz fragments, which is basically every week this gets reset from the missions tab, and it'll be like kill a certain amount of saber enemies or archer enemies, different affinities. You just kind of do whatever the mission says. During celebrations, they usually increase the amount of fragments per mission. Is that correct, Gail? From my
No, I think it's pretty much
memory,
the same. I think it's
is it
like
always three?
it's always three, I
They
think.
never put it up to four, right?
No, no, it's always three.
Why do I
It's
feel
pretty
like
much like seven. Effectively, what you do is you get seven missions to do in a week. One being completing all of them, and then the rest of them, like God just said, is killing saber enemies or doing like 3 friend points, multi summons or something like that. And you get 3 per mission you do. So in total, in a week, you should be getting like 21 Saint Quartz fragments, and then it's a 7-to-1 ratio. So you put in 7, you get 1 SQ back. So you basically get 3 SQ in a week if you do your master missions, which is highly recommended as always.
Yeah, I completely agree. Definitely want to.
It's basically
do
like
those.
weekly missions. It's kind of like instead of having daily missions, they have weekly missions. So you just have to do your weekly missions. You can do it literally in one day if you really want to. I highly recommend going on to the Reddit. They literally have a weekly master mission tab to kind of how you can get the mission done in the optimum way without wasting your stamina. So I highly recommend if you're interested in that, go check the Reddit. It's I try and use it as much as I can every week, unless it's passively done during an event or something.
Very cool. And the next topic that I have here, which we did kind of, we kind of went through it a little bit already, so we might just be able to touch up on it, was a free quest and rank up quest, which like Gail mentioned before, once you complete every story node, a free quest will pop up. So you definitely want to do that, get those extra Saint Quartz. Rank up quest, kind of the same deal in the sense that, the more, the friendship levels of each servant, the higher you get. Some of them will have rank up quests. Sometimes it will be for upgrades. Sometimes it will just be for Saint Quartz and extra story with them. So make sure to use a lot of the same servants, and then obviously just keep swapping them out to make sure you could get all those extra Saint Quartz, because it does add up. All this does add up. Right now might not seem like it does, because again, 4 Saint Quartz a week might not seem a lot, but it does add up over time. And the good thing about Fate is banners are placed out very smartly. Like, they don't come back extremely often, so again, you're able to tell when something's going to come back in a year from now, and you could save for that. I mean, Gail's been saving for the what is it?
Bunny Artery.
Scortoria?
Yeah, Bunny Arteria. No. Scortoria is already come. But I'm saving for Bunny Rule, which on global it's coming out next August. So I've got time, pretty much. I'm just saving up until then. And by the time it comes out, if we add up everything, if I log in every 50 days and all that jazz, I'll get an easy, another at least, at minimum, another 7 to 10 multis minimum, excluding celebrations and maintenance compensation and stuff like that.
Cool. No, great idea. And to everyone watching, that's how you do it, which is going to lead into our final point.
Actually, before we go into that final point, another thing we missed, and this is apologies from us, because I personally completely forgot about it, and Gotcha obviously as well. When you do level up your characters, similar to how Dragon Ball Legends works, this is some if we're gonna bring in an analogy, it's got to be Dragon Ball Legends. In FGO, there's something called bond level, which is like friendship rank in Legends. So what you do is, if you take your units into events, their bond level increases. So you use them more and more, bond level increases. You can get the bond level up as well via or increase the amount of bond EXP you get via CEs, and certain events have like bond points up. So like certain units will give a bonus of 20% to all units on your party and something, so on and so forth. So when you do increase your bond level for 5-star units, between bond 6 to 9, you get 3 SQ per level. 4 stars is 2 SQ per level. 3-star, 1 SQ per level. And then for 2 stars and 1 stars, you only get it on bond 8 and 9 respectively. So that's one way of getting bond or SQ, as well as just using your units more and more up until bond 10. But they have recently added a special material known as the Chaldean Visionary Flames, which allows you to unlock a bond level on your unit. So if you unlock a bond level on your 5-star Arturia, and you can get her from bond 10 to bond 11, once you get her to bond 11, that's 30 SQ, and so on and so forth. So there you can go all the way up until bond 15, and from bond 10 to bond 15 you get 30 SQ per level. So that's also one way. The Chaldean Visionary Flames, however, are very, very hard to get. You can only get them from the Rare Prism exchange shop. You can buy one for free. Not necessarily free, but just using one mana prism right now. But from now on, it's going to be in the Rare Prism shop, which means you'll have to, sell your 5 stars or 4 stars to get the Chaldean Visionary Flame to unlock this bond level for you to get those 30 SQs. But I highly recommend it. At least you'll get a easy 30 SQ if you're jumping in and you're getting that first Chaldean Visionary Flame. So yeah, that's one more way of getting more SQ.
Yep. I honestly completely forgot about the bond leveling because, yeah, you do get some extra Saint Quartz from that. So make sure to do that, especially over on JP. I believe you gave him more now when you go beyond 10.
Yeah, we just got it on global very recently. It's just been like 2-3 weeks since we got it. I think it was part of Lost Belt 3's release. So yeah, pretty much Lost Belt 3 is just released on global for those who haven't been keeping up with the game maybe. So yeah, that's where we get it from. Or that's where we started getting it from, I should say.
Very cool, awesome. And then our last topic for today, it's going to be the big one, which is going to be anniversaries / big celebrations. Every year they've been getting better and better at giving Saint Quartz during those big celebrations. I believe for, what was it, 30 year, we got 10 Saint Quartz for every 50 days you logged in. I think that's what it was. Yes. Yeah, it was, which is very nice. It's extremely generous because, again, I had like 800 days and I got a big chunk of quartz, and you want that. 4th year, I don't remember at the top of my head, but they for sure did something. They always do something big. They always do something big for anniversaries. So that's like one of the main reasons why I would say don't reroll. Just keep logging in, keep doing the story, keep doing what you could, and just keep saving, because if you keep logging in and stuff, the anniversaries go crazy with Saint Quartz.
I'll tell you what it was for 4th anniversary, which is coming to global next year, of course. It's already out on JP. Is that every time the amount of free quests you've completed, you get 10 SQ. So complete 10 free quests, you get an extra 10 SQ, and so on and so forth. I think up to 180 free quests. So yeah, just if you complete free quests from now till the end of the game, till the anniversary, and even beyond the anniversary, I think it still maintains after the anniversary as well. You will get 10 SQ for how many ever free quests you do. So big, very huge, and it's permanent as well. So you're completely fine.
Yeah, which is insane. Honestly, dude, that's a lot.
Yeah.
So make sure to do your free quest. Make sure to log in all the time. These are, this is probably the more free to play way. Obviously, if you guys, for the memes, you could just buy them. But obviously, we want to give you a good free to play guide on how to do quartz. And we definitely hope this helps. So definitely let us know if you guys want more Fate Grand Order content on the 5-9 channel. Me and Gail have no issues recording it. Gail, was there anything else that you would like to wrap up with?
I think the only thing I'm going to point out is, of course, the difference between free and paid Saint Quartz. They do have a distinction between the two. You shouldn't necessarily worry about it if you're a free-to-play player, but, of course, if you are interested in trying to summon for the GSSR, one thing I'll have to note is, of course, it is a paid banner, so you have to use paid SQ. Thankfully, they have reduced the amount you require. Originally, I think for the first 2 to 3 anniversaries, it was like first 2 anniversaries, I should say. Well, it was 30 SQ, 30 paid SQ for you to get the GSSR. Now it's only 15, so you don't have to pay as much anymore to get the GSSR. But that is a slight word of warning. If you are interested in the GSSR, just to remember that it is only going to take paid SQ, so you'll have to make a purchase for that. But apart from that, happy summoning. And yeah, another thing, I highly always recommend you guys play global, even though it's 2 years behind. It allows you to plan out your banners a lot better. Is it a bit more at risk of going down on global? Potentially. If it shuts down first, it'll probably shut down on global first, is what I mean. But at the end of the day, you get a better idea of how to use your money and how to save your SQ, so you'll be a happier individual as a whole, quite frankly speaking. Depending on if you pull the unit, of course. But yeah, that's my only thought is, yeah, just choose whichever version you want to play, but my recommendation will obviously be the global version, just because of the ease of access, obviously, and second of all, easier way of getting or organizing and managing your SQ for your banners.
Yep, and Gail, thank you so much for sharing that. So guys, that is Gacha Talks and Gail. We're going to go ahead and sign off here. If you guys want to follow us on our own social medias, it'll be in the link in the description. And of course, for all the 591s, we have the Discord, Instagram, Facebook, subreddit. We have everything.
It's all in the
definitely
link
check
tree.
out
It's all in the link
check
tree.
out all. Yeah, yep. So definitely check us out everywhere. And we hope this helps. Again, definitely let us know if you guys would like to see more of these in the future. And we are going to, again, to sign off. Take care, everybody. And we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.